debris kind of flared out a little bit, and it's not tightly compacted. It's not as low as what it was just a little bit ago, but also we are seeing the velocity kind of fall apart a little bit also. Now, initially, one would say, okay, look, it looks like this is falling apart. But the Weather Service and I also agree that's probably not the case. What it's doing right now is cycling. A lot of times you can have a tornado on the ground, which it sounds and looks like we did in Jackson County. Then it kind of wraps up in itself. It does what we call occludes, and then it reforms itself. I'm getting a little concerned that right now we're getting that report of the funnel cloud that it's pulled up right now. In fact, just looking at radar and getting some of the ground reports, wouldn't be surprised if this has not pulled up now and is just not a funnel cloud, but somewhere here along Highway 49. Wouldn't be surprised if this thing doesn't tighten back up as it continues moving to the northeast, because if you just look at radar right now, that is still an extremely, extremely healthy looking storm, and something look at this, Zach. See this little weak area right there?
I see it.
It's called a bounded weak echo region, something else very indicative of a tornado. So I'm very confident we just had a tornado. Where the questions remain right now is this thing cycling right now, or is it weakening? And I would bet if I had to bet on something, I'd say it's cycling right now. People in Poinsett County and Craighead County need to watch this one closely.
Yeah, guys in the back, I don't know if you got my message. Can you pull up the Skype computer and go to my Twitter page? Actually, I just got video of the tornado on the ground near Amigun. So any time, doesn't have to be quick, just when you can. If you could pull that up, we can show that video of that tornado on the ground.
Oh, yeah, there it is. I just now looked over at Twitter also. Wood Springs Road, they're seeing it from southwest Jonesboro right now, some of these pictures that are coming in. Now, once again, there it is.
It is getting bigger. It's in the field.
And that's
let's
on
turn
the
the volume
ground.
down, guys, just in case there's some language. But that does look like, that's on the ground. That's a tornado.
So that's the area of rotation
All
right now.
So there's the confirmation there.
Yes. And looking at our cameras across Jonesboro, I thought we'd get a good view, but we're kind of caught in the rain at the moment, so can't really see very well to the southwest side of town. In our Poinsett County camera, Mark Tree, it's on top of the grain elevators, and it's kind of got a blockage where we can't see due west. We can see kind of northwest, and we can kind of see southeast a little bit, but we can't see due west, and so that's being blocked. That's the best we can do, and you can see the clouds and really not a whole lot of rain there in Mark Tree at the moment, it looks like. But still, I mean, if we're getting videos of this tornado. We've got damage. We had it on correlation coefficient showing the debris tracker thrown into the air. So take this storm seriously as it moves towards Wiener, very close to Wiener, and then moving north on Highway 49. Valley View, Jonesboro. If someone's not paying attention to the weather, make sure that they're paying attention to the weather. I'm not saying get into your safe place just yet. I'm just saying that in the next 15, 20 minutes, you probably might need to go to your safe spot just because this tornado or this area of concern continues to move off to the northeast, right towards the city limits.
I'll tell you what, Zach, and see if you agree with me on this. If we can go back to Max 2 for just a second, guys. We are still seeing that little, what we would call a weak echo region there in Poinsett County, looking at velocity. As we said, this storm is doing one of two things. It's either cycling or it is weakening. Excuse me. Just looking at this storm right now, it doesn't look like it's weakening. So if a new warning came out on this, it would, excuse the arrowhead there, but it would probably be included in this area here. They probably shift it just a little bit. I would say that if this thing does start winding up, if a new tornado warning came out, it would likely come out for the Jonesboro area.
I agree with that, and that would probably go up towards Brooklyn and probably halfway to Paragould, the next warning would. And so just these storms are moving fast. So
it's a wait and see.
Right, and we have to kind of keep just saying areas downstream that probably could see this storm move through. And so we'll wait for the official warnings, but still seeing signs that this is just going to keep on going as it moves to the northeast. At least the threat for a tornado, maybe not a tornado actually on the ground, but the threat for a tornado is going to continue well to the northeast unless that area of concern weakens.
Yeah, if you look there, if we're looking at radar. That's the tornado warning. Does not officially include Jonesboro. What the National Weather Service is doing right now, kind of like what we're doing. We're waiting to see, is this thing going to cycle or is it going to weaken out? And as soon as we get a couple of radar scans to see what is happening, because now it looks like the funnel cloud has pulled up right now. No tornado is on the ground. They're being kind of radio silent right now because they're just doing what we're doing. We're just waiting for new scans to come in on radar. And we've got eyes on this storm. Guys, if we could re-rack that tornado video here in just a minute that was tweeted to us, you can get an idea.
And I just retweeted another one, guys.
If you want, has had the capability of doing.
If you want a different angle on this one's angle's a little bit better. It's a little bit farther out. You can see the entire storm. Just retweeted it on my Twitter page if you want to pull that one up. So you can see they're driving alongside it, and even looks like a little bit of a side vortex there, Ryan, coming out of the side of the base. Maybe a secondary tornado there on the back end of it.
Well, that's a healthy looking tornado. Now that, folks, is when it was near Amigan, probably crossing. Look at that vortex coming out of the side of it.
Right, yeah, that's very impressive.
And you know the debris on that was lofted pretty high up, That was a strong tornado. This is something to take seriously. Even though it has pulled up right now, it is something that we need to take seriously because I am worried that this thing is cycling right now. In fact, I'm looking at this right now thinking that it is cycling and it's trying to produce something along Highway 49 right now. So once again, at this very moment, it is not on the ground. We have eyes there. It is not even a funnel right now. However, let me show you the area that I am concerned with, and really what I'm so concerned with is that this thing forms really fast, and that folks in Valley View and Jonesboro and even Bay aren't taking this serious. You see the video there. Let me also show you on radar the area that I would be watching is going to pass very close to Wiener, right through here and crossing over Highway 49. Now, keep in mind, it's not on the ground now. Even the funnel has pulled up, but if something forms right there, if we can go back to Max 2 for just a second, guys. If it forms right there north of Wiener and crosses over 49, look how close that's going to be to Jonesboro. So the Weather Service is watching this closely, and this is the area they're going to be watching. Will this tighten up and turn into something else? Very close to Highway 49. We have storm spotters there. Law enforcement are watching this storm also. You've already seen the video. So if something forms there, we need everybody, including Jonesboro, all the way up into the southern parts of Greene County, to take this serious and keep a close eye on it.
And those last few scans, Ryan.
You get any new information?
No, we've got meteorologist Aaron Castleberry now kind of manning over there with the weather cameras and the information. He's on the other camera, so we'll kind of toss it to him for updates now, and we'll continue to watch these areas of storms. We've still got that severe thunderstorm warning near Walnut Ridge. Don't want to forget about Walnut Ridge. It's a severe thunderstorm warning and not a tornado warning, but maybe some high winds, maybe some hail mixing in at times. Though I'm pretty sure that warning is getting close to kind of fizzling out there or allowing to expire in the next 6 minutes. So I'm not sure they're going to reissue anything on that one. Doesn't look as impressive wind-wise. Can't really see if there's any hail at the moment. But even scanning across the storm center, just saw a lot of lightning on our Walnut Ridge sky cam, but not seeing and some heavy rain as well, but not seeing any signs of hail or anything like that. So that storm moving towards Jonesboro continues to really be our main point of focus, and not because anybody else doesn't matter. It's just because we've already had that confirmed tornado, and we're going to have to watch it closely as it continues to move towards Jonesboro. Because like Ryan said, I mean, if that rotation tightens back up, it's going to produce a tornado very close to Jonesboro, and who currently isn't under a tornado warning. So there may not be a big close time for a warning there, southwest of Jonesboro in the Jonesboro area. So that's why we're watching that storm so closely, just because right now Jonesboro is officially not under a tornado warning, but that could change very quickly, and that rotation is now pretty much crossing into Craighead County. So it's almost outside of Poinsett County, and now crossing into the southern portions of crossing into the southern portions of Craighead County. So near Valley View, south of where 49 meets 226, so southeast of Cache, more towards the north of the Wiener area, kind of right passing through the Wiener area, and still seeing some heavy rain. And if we go back to radar, we can kind of show all that heavy rain there. Or if we go back to radar there at the bottom, we can continue to see all that heavy rain just really moving through. So Jonesboro, unless you're on the east side of the city of Jonesboro or southern portions of Craighead County, probably not going to get a good sight of this storm just because of all that rain kind of over the city right now and back to the southwest. So not a good time to kind of go look for the storm. Just get ready to take shelter in case that rotation does tighten up a little bit as it moves towards the city of Jonesboro and the central portions of Craighead County. But if I was anywhere south of Jonesboro, in between I-555 and Highway 1 and Highway 49, I'd probably go ahead and be prepared to jump into my safe spot in the next 3, 4, 5 minutes. So if you have a lot of kids, if you have family members, some pets, I'd get them all together and just get ready to go into your safe spot. Maybe you don't necessarily have to go right there right now. You can if that's what you want to do and that's what makes you comfortable. But I would just get everything close to you that you need in that spot. Some family members, pets, anything you want to keep there with you, some helmets or something to protect you from debris. I'd probably just get everything close by and ready to go in that safe spot. If you're outside of the tornado warning, and the newest scan there just continues to bring it closer and closer to the Jonesboro area. So we'll zoom back in there. We'll zoom back in and try to see what that couplet looks like now. Didn't look as organized earlier, but continue to watch that. And Castleberry, you got something?
Yeah, the National Weather Service in Memphis is going to go ahead and let that tornado warning expire, but issue a new severe thunderstorm warning into Craighead County with a tornado possible. So.
So we're kind of switching gears a little bit. We have that tornado warning. That's going to go away, and it's just going to be a severe thunderstorm warning. And I say just going to be a severe thunderstorm warning. You need to take that seriously, but the rotation has kind of become broad enough where they're comfortable just issuing a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. So what that means is it's a severe thunderstorm. It's not currently looks like it's going to produce a tornado, but it still has the possibility of creating a tornado. So that's why I've been kind of saying, even if you live in the South Jonesboro area, south of Valley View, County Road 423 there, south of the city, just be ready to go to your safe spot if you need to. And even if you want to do that, that's probably a good idea from the Valley View area to the south as it continues to move close. So if this does cycle and it does tighten up really quick, the time to warn people is going to be very, very small just because of how close that area of rotation is to the Jonesboro area.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if you guys can still hear me, I tell you how I would treat this severe thunderstorm warning. To be straight up with you guys right now, the severe thunderstorm warning is tagged with tornado possible. So when the National Weather Service started doing this, they're trying to lower the false alarm rate on tornado warnings, which makes a lot of sense because if we get a bunch of tornado warnings and half of them don't produce tornadoes, then people start getting complacent. So they're doing severe thunderstorm warnings now, and they're tagging it with tornado possible. Because of what this storm has already done, and we're going to show you that video, especially that second video here in just a minute that was tweeted to us, because this has already produced a tornado, if you're in Jonesboro, I know the sirens probably aren't going off, Valley View, Bono, any of these areas, I would still treat this extremely seriously. If I was in that polygon right now, and if my house goes under this same type of polygon here shortly, I will be getting my family into their tornado safe spot, just to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about here. Because what Zach was just now saying, if this thing does tighten back up, that orange yellowish polygon that you see is going to become a red polygon, and the time to take cover isn't going to be there. It's just, if this thing forms, it's going to form pretty much right on the city limit. So we're watching this right now. The Weather Service is noting that rotation. It's crossing out of Poinsett County now. It's coming into Craighead County. And I'll kind of give you an idea of where, if anything starts forming, is going to be. Let me zoom all the way in. You see Valley View there. You see Highway 49. This would be right along Highway 49 and where 226 comes in. So you know where the new 226 is, the new part that connects over to Highway 67. I believe there's a Citgo that that sits just to the west of where this rotation is going to be. If you're familiar with 226, it's where that sit-go is that has two signs with it. This is going just to the east of that. This is going to be where the old part of 226 connects in. This is the location we're watching if it continues moving in that direction. If anything forms there, the most concerning area is going to be right in the area that I'm describing here. This is going to be right, if you're really familiar with that area, there's a kind of a flooded area there with some trees there that I believe, from what I hear, is a good fishing spot. This is going to be right near there. Highway 349 comes into West Side Schools. That's the area that we're watching. That's the area that has prompted the severe thunderstorm warning with the tagline that a tornado is still possible. It's not enough evidence there to continue with the tornado warning. However, the chances there for, and Zach, we just now got a new update, and right there on Highway 49, I'm still kind of concerned with it.
Yeah, it's broader than when it did confirm that, or did produce that confirmed tornado, but it's still not broad enough for me to not want to go off air, especially with it moving to the Jonesboro area. We're going to stick with this, even though that tornado warning has officially been allowed to expire. We're going to stick with it as long as we think that there's still a threat with this storm, and there is still a threat. And so that's why we're watching this storm closely. But notice on Max 1, we've got just a lot of heavy rain. It's probably very loud. There's a lot of lightning with some of these storms. And notice the severe thunderstorm warning for Warrens County for the Walnut Ridge, Hoxie area was allowed to expire. And so just looked on chat and saw emergency management manager say that they didn't have any confirmed reports of hail or damage. So just a lot of heavy rain and lightning there in the Walnut Ridge and Hoxie area. And that probably goes for a good portion of our extreme northeastern quadrant of counties. So Lawrence, Greene, Clay, Randolph County, just a lot of heavy rainfall and probably already dropped around a quarter to half inch of rainfall, with more possible with storms back off to the southwest. So that's something we're going to have to watch as well over the next couple of hours, is maybe some street flooding or flash flooding, and still the possibility of one or two more tornado warnings there, especially on the edge of the rain. And really the only storm that showed signs of rotation is the one that has that tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning on it that did produce a tornado, at least one tornado there in the Amagon community or near the Amagon community. So we're watching these storms. We're watching all of the storms. I know we're focusing on just that one, but I just want people at home to know we're watching all the storms. It's just the one near Jonesboro and Jackson County and Poinsett County has been the one that has been the troublemaker and has been causing a lot of these issues over the past hour and a half. And Aaron?
Hey, Zach,
was that Ryan?
Hey, Zach, I really think they're going to have to probably reissue this tornado warning. If we could go back to Max 2 for just a second, guys, I want to show you what I'm talking about. There's an area that is forming just to the east now of Highway 49, just to the east of Highway 49. It's tightening up just a little bit. It's southwest of Valley View. Folks, take this serious. This has already produced a tornado, a fairly large tornado, which we saw on the video. The area that I'm watching is right here. Let me circle it for you, right there. I am concerned with this, and it's extremely close to Valley View. It's coming into there it is. New tornado warning is now in effect. New tornado warning in effect. If we could go over to Aaron and have him read that tornado warning to us. Aaron, you there?
Yeah, let me pull this up. Tornado warning for Craighead County. For a storm capable of producing a tornado near Greenfield or 9 miles southwest of Jonesboro, moving towards the northeast at 40. This will come into Jonesboro, Brooklyn, Farville, first coming through Valley View, then into Jonesboro, then make its way up really Highway 49 into town. Back when this storm was in Jackson County, we do have a report from law enforcement of power lines down and tree and roofs missing between Algoma and Amagon. So that just came in from law enforcement there in Jackson County.
Appreciate that. Tell you what, guys, come back to me for a minute. Let's go to Max 2 for just a minute. The area that we are concerned about is developing not a confirmed tornado here. Of course, we've already had a tornado with this, but the area that we're watching is coming into Valley View right now. It's crossing over County Road 441 and 452 right now. This is coming to County Road 440, County Road 412. Everyone in Valley View, we need you in your tornado safe spot in less than 2 minutes. move quickly right around the Valley View area. Now, if we continue this moving to the northeast, this is going to be coming right into the heart of Jonesboro. Jonesboro, you are now under a tornado warning. Jonesboro, not sure if the sirens are going off yet. If they're not, they will be shortly probably. That tornado warning extends all the way up to the Brooklyn area. And almost up to the county line or to the county line of Greene County. So the possible tornado is just to the southwest of Valley View, actually coming into the Valley View area right now. We need everybody in Valley View and Jonesboro to get as many walls in between you and the outside that you possibly can. Get to the lowest level of your home also. Now, we're on a Saturday right now. Probably don't have a whole lot of kids at home alone right now, but if you are a kid and you live in the Valley View School District, if you go to Valley View, Nettleton, Jonesboro, all those school districts in Jonesboro and Valley View area, we need to get you as many walls in between you and the outside that you possibly can, and to the lowest level that you possibly can. If you do have a bicycle helmet, baseball, softball helmet, football helmet, something like that, we need you to put that on right now. We need to take this storm really serious. And people would say, hey, you're showing us this video just to drive home the point. You're exactly right. If you guys can, I want to show the video of what this storm has already done down in Jackson County. So when you guys get it, there it is right there. This is the same storm that produced this tornado just a little bit ago. This was sent on Twitter just a little bit ago. This is the storm that we're dealing with. Now, with that said, it has pulled up since then. When it crossed into Poinsett County, it pulled up. It briefly weakened. It is now trying to strengthen. We don't have reports of it back on the ground, but that is a large tornado, and this storm needs to be taken seriously. Now, I'm not saying something like that's coming into Jonesboro right now. I'm not saying that, but this does have the potential of producing a tornado. Treat it seriously. Valley View area, this is still heading in your direction. The rotation not as pronounced as when it was producing this tornado that you see in this video. However, if we go back to Max 2, you can see the area that we're watching is just down to the southwest of Valley View, crossing over County Road 441 and coming very close to the center of Valley View, right where the schools are, about to cross over Weaver Road and about to cross over 226. Zach, you got any more information there?
Just kind of watching the storm and just trying to see, getting a lot of social media reports. We do have tornado sirens going off in Brooklyn, probably Jonesboro as well. Yes, just confirmed tornado sirens going off in Jonesboro now, south of I-55 on Harrisburg Road. So I assume that to mean all Jonesboro has activated their alert network, and that's pretty much warnings going off for the entire city of Jonesboro as that area of rotation moves towards the Valley View community. So Valley View, you're under the gun right now. You need to be in your safe spot, and the rest of Jonesboro, if you're not, get into your safe spot. This storm has a history of producing tornadoes. We have the video of it. This is a very serious situation. We don't have anything confirmed right now, but that doesn't mean that there isn't anything, or that this storm could wrap up very quickly and produce a tornado as it's moving into Jonesboro, which would not give you a lot of time to take cover. So look
at this wall cloud on the
Zach,
stadium
we got a
camera
funnel
right now.
cloud now.
We take up the stadium camera. You can see that wall cloud coming into South Jonesboro right now. Really can't see if there's anything on the ground, but you can see the pronounced wall cloud there coming into south side of town.
Oh, wow. Now, there's a couple things you can see here on this video. Not only can you see the lowering and the wall cloud there, you can see the inflow there on the right side. There's the funnel, guys. If y'all can zoom in, I believe on the left side of the wall cloud.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're getting reports now. We just now got a report of a funnel cloud. This funnel cloud is reporting in the Cache area, reported by law enforcement. Funnel cloud near Cache.
Okay, guys, we pop
All right,
up
so
Max
we're gonna have a
1.
good vantage point on this.
I've put the stadium camera in my show, so you should be able to pop me up over this, so I can kind of point some stuff out while Ryan talks.
All right, so once again, what we're looking at here, we're looking out from Centennial Bank Stadium, and this is the storm that is coming in. The lowering there, that is the wall cloud, and we are getting funnel cloud reports on this one. Now, we zoomed in on an area there that looked like the funnel. Is that a funnel right there? Is that rotating?
Right here, I think, is where we've got our funnels there. I think that's just rain in the background. I think that's kind of behind this wall cloud, which kind of fits how these storms kind of set up. You have the wall cloud in front, and then you have a rain curtain that comes in behind it. So this area right here, you've noticed it's kind of got that block shape, and then the clouds are a little bit different color right here. So this is the area of concern right through here. You just see all that turbulence, all the water vapor there, the condensed water moving with the wind. And so if we're going to get a tornado, it's either going to be on this edge right here, or maybe even right there. Right, it's kind of hard to see with the camera there, but at times it does look like maybe a little bit of a vortice trying to form, if not already formed there underneath that. But right here is where we're gonna see that tornado if it does come down.
Just to be safe, guys, let's zoom out a little bit just so we can see that entire base of that wall cloud coming in. Once again, if you're in the Jonesboro area, if you're in Valley View, we need you to be in your tornado spot now. Brooklyn, you've got a few minutes. Jonesboro. I'll tell you what's concerning me a little bit, guys, is this is starting to nudge a little bit to the right, what we would call right hooking. It is trying to do that a little bit. I tell you what my fear is right now. My fear is that we don't have a tornado right now. I'm so glad that they issued that tornado warning, because what I'm afraid of is that this thing's going to form right near Jonesboro. But wow, look how large that wall cloud is coming in right now.
You can see the motion with that, and why this storm is capable of producing a tornado and others haven't been. Look at all the clear air we have on the outside of this. There's no rain, there's nothing obstructing this storm, so it's getting fresh air to kind of suck into this storm and keep it going. There's nothing to really weaken it, which is why usually on days like today, when storm modes are so messy, there's a lot of heavy rain, there's lightning, storms on the edges are probably the most dangerous, just because they have that vantage point, that unobstructed passage into the warm, humid air that these storms need to mature and grow and eventually produce tornadoes. So yeah, we're watching this baseline here, and we're going to keep it here on this as that area of rotation is now probably right over Valley View, Ryan. I don't have radar on me, but you can probably confirm that from where you are. But we're going to keep on this image right here so we can see in real time. Radar is not real time. It can be a few minutes behind. So we're going to keep it on the Skycam just because this is a live feed of what we're seeing actually happening right now. And since we're in view of this, we're going to keep our eyes on this instead of going back to radar, just because we can see if something forms before radar can. Especially even what we used earlier with CC, correlation coefficient, that takes a little bit longer. That tornado was on the ground before we saw that little blue dot indicating that there was something on the ground. So this is why our weather cameras are so important, is because they're in live time and we can actually see what's happening, while as radar and other technology, it's not super late, but it is later than what's happening actually in real time. And still watching that leading edge there to the south of Jonesboro. That's still south of I-55. So the Valley View community, and now probably pushing a little bit closer into the Jonesboro area. It's not a good situation right now. If you've been waiting and you're not in your safe spot and you're in the Jonesboro city limits, even in the Brooklyn city limits, go ahead, get into your safe spot as we continue to monitor this storm, because if it does produce a tornado, it is going to be right on top of the city of Jonesboro, and there's not going to be much time to get into your safe spot. And that sounds a little harsh, but it's the truth. And we really need you to take shelter, and we really need you to treat this as a serious situation, just because this storm has already produced at least one tornado. And so far, Ryan, I mean, there's a lot of turbulence there on the edge there, but I haven't seen anything quite yet. It's hard to see at times because of the quality of the picture sometimes when you zoom in. But right there, that's a little concerning, is there's a lot of turbulence in this wall cloud. So, yeah, Ryan, I'm with you. This thing may produce pretty quickly. I mean, look at that rapid motion there on that edge of that wall cloud.
I want us to stay on that Skycam, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use radar to tell you where this is. The greatest rotation right now is passing between Valley View and Craighead Forest Park. It's very close to Keller's Chapel Road. It's getting very close to 141. It's going to be crossing, the rotation is going to be crossing over Interstate 555. Once again, not a tornado yet, we don't think, because we do have an eye on it. There's Zach pointing out the area that we're talking about. This is coming straight up 49, and this is going to be crossing over 55. If this thing produces produces a tornado, this is going to be right in the center of Jonesboro. Now, we've got a camera on this. Zach is pointing it out. Zach is spot on with this in that, let me look at the radar back here. This has crossed over 55 now. It's crossed over 55, the rotation is. If there's anything there, we're going to be able to see it on that camera. We're going to look for power flashes. We're going to look for things like that that would be indicated of a tornado. What we need right now is everybody to be in their tornado safe spot. This is going across 55, coming right into the heart of town. It's going to be coming right near the mall at Turtle Creek here shortly. It's going to continue moving northeastward, and it's going to be very close to NEA Baptist and Sage Meadows. It's going to miss the television station just down to the southwest, but just looking at that camera shot right now,
right there.
That is an extremely healthy storm.
What'd you say?
There's a tornado coming out this storm right in town. It's in Jonesboro right now.
Oh, there it is, right there. Zoom in. Can you zoom in on that? Guys, we have a confirmed tornado in Jonesboro. So if you're in the Jonesboro city limits, get into your safe spot. This is real time. This is a tornado on the ground inside Jonesboro, Arkansas. Guys, I need you in your safe spot. If you don't know what that is, it's a room where windows and walls do not go outside. So a closet, a bathroom, get in the tub, cover yourself with blankets or helmets. This tornado is on the ground, and it is just continuing to strengthen.
This is south
power
of,
flashes
right
right
there on Highland Drive. This is that bank right there. That's the bank on Highland Drive. This is going across.
Okay, there's power flash.
Right
We've
there
got debris
near that
in the air.
shopping
Hey guys,
center.
hold on just a second.
Oh, wow.
Hold on just a second. Let's not talk over each other. I want to tell these people. Zach's going to continue to point this out. This right now is picking up debris. That what you see in the foreground, that is the Regions Bank building, I believe. Let's continue, guys. This is a very life-threatening situation right now. We need everybody up around Hilltop to get in your tornado safe spot immediately. Get
More
in
power
your tornado
flashes.
safe spot anywhere in Jonesboro. Sage Meadows, get in your tornado safe spot. We need everybody from the university. This is going to be coming extremely close to Arkansas State University. Zach, can you make out what up some of these places are there? There's the stadium lights right there.
Yes, yeah. So that's the baseball field right below me. So this is moving towards Red Wolf. If you know anybody on Red Wolf right now, they are in danger. This is debris being lofted in the air. This is businesses. This is homes south
This
of
is
Highland.
crossing over Red Wolf right now.
So there's Red
Good
Wolf
grief,
right
look
there.
how many
The
people
lights
are
right
out there.
There's the overpass. This is going back down towards the mall, Chick-fil-A, crossing your Tacos for Life, that area right now. And it's moving on Highland. So that new construction zone on the east side of town where they're building the new overpass over the railroads, that's where this is heading. And this is a major tornado. I need everyone in their safe spot immediately, even if you're not in Jonesboro. Brooklyn, maybe even Lake City. I'm not sure on the trajectory of this, but I need you in your safe spot right now. This is a major tornado on the ground. Look at the size of that debris being lofted. These are very extremely strong winds as more power flashes just continue to light up there as this continues to move across now the eastern portions of Jonesboro. This is as dire of a situation as we
Zach.
can have. Yes, sir.
We may have just lost this camera.
Did we lose the camera? It's moving still over here. And there it goes. I think we did just lose the camera.
Zach, I'm not sure if you can hear me right now.
I can
you hear
Ryan.
me? Okay, this is bad. We need everybody. Brooklyn, I want to warm people upstream now. I'm losing your connection some here now, but I need everybody from the NEA Baptist area. I'm starting to lose some of the data here, but this is coming up near Hilltop right now. You're looking at the last screen grab that we had of this storm.
Guys, let's go
this
to NEA
is going
Baptist.
to be.
Okay, you did. We still have the feed live at NEA
Okay, so
Baptist,
it's going
Ryan.
to be passing. That's NEA Baptist right now. Okay, so this is going to be passing south. Zoom out if you don't mind, guys, so I can get a reference point. This looks like it's going to go south of NEA Baptist. Everybody in Brooklyn. Brooklyn, we need you in your tornado safe spot immediately. Get as many walls in between you and the outside that you possibly can. If you have family anywhere from Hilltop to Brooklyn, make sure that they are in their tornado safe spot. Call them now. Make sure that they know this. This is going to continue moving toward Highway 49. Everybody from Sage Meadows to Brooklyn. There are a lot of new houses through there. Have we lost that feed also?
It just came back. It's going to flash a little and it will come right back.
I don't know, Ryan, maybe you can answer this question. It's on top of the hospital, so I assume if the power does go down, once the generators come back, we might still keep this camera online.
Yeah, I agree. It's still live right now.
Yeah, it is. It's been going in and out a
Okay,
little
guys.
bit.
This is passing south of Hilltop. This is passing south of NEA Baptist. This is coming into Brooklyn. This storm will be coming into Brooklyn. It shows no signs of weakening. This isn't going to be something that we're going to be able to get out of that fast. So everyone in Brooklyn, we need you in your tornado safe spot. Put helmets on the kids, baseball helmets, softball helmets. We need just cover your bodies and your heads. We continue to see that debris. This is a large tornado right now. Okay, so we're going to continue to watch this move up Highway 49. Paragould area, we need you to start paying attention to this one also. This is a large tornado that is likely going to continue staying on the ground as it continues passing to the south. We're looking out from NEA Baptist, so let's widen out so we can give everybody a view. That is the Journey campus. If you know where Journey Church is, that is it in the foreground. It is passing south of Journey Church. This is coming toward Brooklyn. It's going to be crossing. It's kind of moving right up Kathleen Street right now. If you know where Kathleen Street is, a lot of people take Kathleen Street heading down into Nettleton. This is a violent tornado, guys.
Hey guys, you can pop me back up on top of Max 1. I've got the NEA Baptist camera up. It's still going to take a look at this. Hold on a second. Let me get those words off the screen. But this is still on the ground. This is moving south of Highway 49. This is going to continue to move towards Highway 49, so towards the Farville curve is where we're expecting this to continue to move towards. And so people on the highway, I still see cars driving right towards it. I don't understand why they have not stopped as this continues to move north. So
call everybody. If someone is on 49 right now heading northbound, tell them to stop immediately.
This is passing, this is kind of the east way around Jonesboro. So you go to Farville Curve, you turn left towards Gamble, you go across the tracks, and then you take that road to the right that goes down along the tracks to get to I-555 and Highway 18. This is where that tornado is, and it is about to move right towards Highway 49 and cross the highway to potentially run right along the highway. So if you live in Brooklyn, if you live
Zach,
in... Yes, sir.
Zach, Brooklyn is going to take a direct hit from this. We need everybody in Brooklyn. You have seconds. Get in your safe spot. Don't try to look at it. Get as many walls in between you and the outside. Cover the heads of all the kids. This is possibly passing just to the west of Brooklyn, but anyone in Brooklyn. I'm just trying to pinpoint here, but this is going to be coming right into the heart of Brooklyn. There's not a tornado warning yet. Carriage Hills, take cover. Carriage Hills area south of Paragould, take cover now. A tornado warning is coming.
The rain has wrapped around. We do not have a sight on that anymore. Switch to Paragould and see if we can get it on Paragould.
There is a large debris signature showing up on radar now. Very large debris signature of where this has just gone. Zach, if you can hear me, folks in Greene County, they have not issued a warning yet. And Aaron, I'm not sure if you're passing all this along to the Weather Service. They need to get a warning out for Greene County now. Greene County, just go ahead and treat it like it's a tornado warning. Paragould, we need you in your tornado safe spot immediately. Carriage Hills, Paragould, this is a large and violent tornado that continues to move through Brooklyn right now. We need everybody in Carriage Hills all the way to Finch to be in your tornado safe spot. Now, let me kind of paint a picture here. If you're looking at my radar right now, that signature you see down at the bottom going through Brooklyn, that is the tornado. We have lost all of our cameras on this storm. This looks like it's crossed over 49 now, somewhere close to Brooklyn. You see where Carriage Hills is. That is a lot of homes right there. And I'm not sure if you guys can still hear, but I have lost my ability to be able to hear you guys. So I can't control the computer anymore either. But let me continue for just a minute on this thought if you can still hear me. That area, that light blue, that light green that is down to the bottom of near Brooklyn, that is the tornado. It is a large, violent tornado. It's moving up Highway 49, possibly just to the west of Highway 49. We need everyone along Highway 358. Highway 358, that's Finch Road. That's the road where Walmart Marketplace is that goes over to 351. We need everybody from Goobertown Road, Pine Log Road, get in your tornado safe spot. This is a large, violent tornado that is moving to the northeast. And as I said, guys, I have lost ability to communicate with you guys. I'm trying to get that back.
Yeah,
And if
we're
I
trying
do,
to gain some stuff. We're
I'll
losing
come
a
back
few
to you
stuff
guys,
here.
but for now, I'm going to toss it back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. And like Ryan said, Brooklyn, new tornado warning is coming for eastern Greene County. That will likely include the Paragould area, Carriage Hills, east of Paragould. This is a life-threatening situation. This is about as life-threatening as it can get. Guys, you can Max 1 has gone down. I'm not sure what the issue with that is, but if you can pop me up on Max 2, if that's possible. I'm not sure if it's our issue or the issue in the back. But if you pop me up on Max 2, there we go. So here's the tornado right in here. That is where the tornado is, and it's moving right toward Brooklyn, and it's going to continue moving towards Greene County. So Brooklyn, Highway 230, Highway 135, County Road 762, Witten Creek Apartments, the Jonesboro. If you live around the middle school there in Brooklyn, pretty much anywhere in Brooklyn, you need to be in your tornado safe spot immediately. I don't think we have to show the tornado again. Hopefully that's gotten into your head that this is a very life-threatening situation. And there's that new tornado warning there for portions of Greene County. Carriage Hills, Paragould, all the way down to the Mounds community and probably even up towards the Oak Grove community. Now that's farther along. So really the next area this is going to impact, as long as it stays on the ground, is moving towards the Greene County area. Brooklyn, immediately. We don't have a weather camera there. We've kind of lost all of our weather cameras, and we're waiting for the Paragould one to be able to see it. Aaron, if you can let me know if there's a camera we need to cut to immediately.
You guys have me back?
Okay, yeah, we've got you back, Ryan. Aaron, don't be afraid to interrupt me. Tell me what
back.
you're seeing over there if we need to cut to anything. So Brooklyn, all the way up to the north side of Brooklyn, the north bypass area, up towards the liquor store there on the county line, Carriage Hills, where all the dealerships are south of Paragould, Greene County Tech High School, Paragould High School, even on the eastern side of the city, so towards the overpass, the railroad tracks, Sonic, a lot of subdivisions there on the southeast side of Paragould need to take cover immediately. This storm is getting very, very, it's going to be moving your way heading next and moving towards kind of the Cardwell area, the Zenith area, and towards the state line, so the Mr. T's area eventually. So that covers that next tornado warning, but the immediate threat is in Brooklyn. That tornado is in Brooklyn right now if it's still on the ground. We don't have view of it.
Hey, Zach.
Yes, sir.
Tornado sirens are now going off in Paragould.
Good.
The tornado's still looking healthy. We need everybody in Carriage Hills. I'm losing your signal from time to time, Zach.
Okay.
So if at any point you lose me, just continue on. I will probably have to take cover here in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, Ryan, definitely.
But we need everyone in Brooklyn northward to Paragould. Everyone. There's a lot of new houses on some of those roads as you head up toward Goobertown, as you head up there toward Home Place Furniture right there on the county line. This thing is heading right for Carriage Hills, and it has already hit a lot of populated areas. And Zach, just looking at some of the data behind the scenes here, when you draw a correlation to how far the debris is being lofted up and what we just now saw on the camera, we're looking at a major tornado, EF3, if not EF4 tornado.
Oh, I mean, the way that debris was getting lofted in the air as it was moving through Jonesboro, that is, I didn't want to say it, but that was in my head, that this is the high-end tornado. This is not the weaker stuff that a lot of times most tornadoes are. This is potential to be a very strong tornado. It is a very strong tornado with all the damage we just saw across the Jonesboro area. That's what could happen in Brooklyn, especially since Ryan said that tornado is still looking healthy. It is on the ground in Brooklyn. It is moving through Brooklyn, Carriage Hills, Paragould, Greene County, even over north of Monette. So if you live on Highway 139 north of Monette towards the state line, this is a very serious situation for everyone. And it's hard to fathom just seeing those images right here in Region 8, but this is happening, and we need everyone to do what they can to take cover if they're in the path of this storm, because the atmosphere today, it's not tornadoes drop and then lift. They can, but that type of tornado we just saw on the live camera, those are tornadoes that stay on the ground for very, very long time. And so that's why you can probably hear it in my voice. This is the most serious situation I've ever covered, and this is a serious situation for everyone in the path of this storm. So Brooklyn, hopefully you're in your safe spot, but now we're focusing past Brooklyn because the tornado has already either moved through parts of Brooklyn or is moving through Brooklyn right now and continues off to the northeast. So the Old Country Club, I think it's old. I know there used to be golf courses on the east side of Brooklyn along Highway 230. Not sure if they're still there, but that area is the area where the tornado is moving through. And so that's going to move to the east side of Highway 49 and move up towards the Carriage Hills. I think the way it's moving is is that it's going to be very close to Carriage Hills over the next 15, 20 minutes.
And if you're in Paragould, you're not going to see this come in now.
No.
The rain is coming into Paragould right now, and it's really hard to see from AMMC back towards the south. So if you're in Paragould, you need to be in a safe spot now.
Right, and that's why we've moved back to radar. As long as we had that tornado on camera, we were going to keep it on just because it was in real time. But we've lost that camera, and there's heavy rain in Paragould, so we can't see it. So that's why we're back to radar, and that's why we're still watching this area. So I don't think I can control this camera, this from the screen there. So I'm going to go back to this.
Zach, I can control your
You
camera
can?
for you
Okay,
if you
perfect.
need it. I mean, your
Yeah, drive
radar
for me,
you.
right?
Yeah.
So if
All
you can go to CC there, so we can kind of see what that's looking like. Yeah, that's not good. That is a very large debris field. This is still picking up and producing debris. This tornado is still on the ground.
Get downstairs, everybody.
Yeah, you heard that. Ryan is going downstairs into their basement. He is taking cover in Paragould. You should be doing that as well. If you have not said those words to your family, get downstairs or take cover.
Take cover
do
now.
it right now, because this tornado is about to move through its third community. It's already moved through Jonesboro. It just got done moving through Brooklyn, and now it is about to impact portions of Paragould. So that's 3 communities already, and it's probably not done after that as it continues to move off to the northeast. And Ryan, if you need to take cover, let me know, and I can kind of go back to the island there and kind of control, or Aaron can control. Don't want to keep you up there in your office, but
I tell you what, I'm going to stay with you guys. It looks like it's going to pass east of my house because it is starting to right turn over Highway 230 right now.
Yeah, and so
We're getting word from Jeff Presswood with Craighead E911 saying there's major damage and injuries in Jonesboro and the area of Red Wolf and 555 right now.
major damage, major injuries inside of Jonesboro. So if you're still not taking this seriously and you're in Greene County, I hope those words make you choose otherwise, because this was a major tornado that just moved through Brooklyn and just moved through Jonesboro and is now going into Greene County. Greene County is next in the line. Now, still portions of Craighead County, north of Highway 230, east of Highway 49 there. That is where the tornado is on the ground, and that's where and these are moving fast. It moved through Jonesboro in what, about 5 minutes? You can't even drive through Jonesboro that fast most days. So you need to take this storm seriously as it moves towards the county line, and then east of Highway 49. In Carriage Hills, it's going to be close. I think you're okay, but I want you in your safe spot. Anywhere in Paragould, I want you in your safe spot. It's hard to go in specifics when we have that confirmed tornado on the ground. I just want everyone to take shelter. Highway 69 there on the edge there, the bike pass. That's an area you need to watch very closely. So I think Laubach Trucking is out there, kind of towards there at the intersection of the old highway that went across the tracks, and then you've got the new bypass that goes across the tracks through the overpass. But here's Highway 69. This is kind of the broad outer loop there on the southeastern portions of Paragould. That's where that tornado is going to get very close to next, and hopefully it continues to make the right turn and stay away from Paragould. But for right now, really need a lot of people in their safe spot, especially along Highway 135. That's all the way from 412 down to east of Brooklyn. So that's where you need to be. You need to be in your safe spot if you live on Highway 135. And Aaron, I don't know if you can zoom in for me so I can get a few more county roads. It's kind of just highlighting the major roads. I want to get as specific as we can as this tornado continues to move off to the northeast. And we're going to treat this like a confirmed tornado, even if we start to get reports it's lifted, because just of what it's already done and already has done across Region 8. So County Road 931, there's the Highway 69 that goes on the southeastern edge of Paragould. So County Road 931, County Road 915, that'd be Greene County. Shugtown and Shugtown Road need to take cover. County Road 932 eventually, as this continues to move closer and closer towards you. And then in Craighead County, that's County Road 977. And then there's that little bend right there. I know there's some houses along that bend there on 135. You need to be in shelter as well as this moves off to the northeast. And so if any of these roads sound familiar, if you have family members, if you know anybody who lives on roads that I just said, make sure they're in their safe spot. Call them until they answer. I don't care if you have to call 10, 20 times until they answer. And if you know someone in the path of this storm, make sure they are in their safe spot. This is a very dangerous situation.
We're getting a report. We're getting a report. This tornado is still on the ground just to the west of Shugtown, coming across the county line right now. Okay,
so the tornado is still on the ground. It is crossing Greene and Craighead County line into Greene County, out of Craighead County. So anywhere from County Road 931 towards Highway 69, and even and Aaron, I'd say that rotation is still just on the east side of Brooklyn. So it's still
right there. Right there, that's Goobertown Road. There at the county line, coming across the county line, just south of Carriage Hills and south of Highway 69, as it's coming out of Craighead into Greene counties. Should be on the north side of Brooklyn. If it's still in Brooklyn, on the north side, moving out of Brooklyn into
so
Greene
that's more
County.
Goobertown there, and then that furniture store that is right there on the county line from Greene to Craighead County. So right past the liquor store in Greene County, and you've got the furniture store on the other side of the road, and then you go closer and closer to Jonesboro. So that's where we're watching right now. So Carriage Hills, be in your safe spot right now. Tornadoes way too close for comfort. If you live on Highway 69, 135, continuing off to the northeast. And Castleberry, can you check chat? I've heard it dinging. I can't check it from over here. Can you just check it real quick and see if there's anything worth passing along?
Police are in rescue mode right now. Red Wolf and Highland, overturned cars, roofs off in northeast Jonesboro. We're also now starting to watch another storm in northern Cross County that is tornadic at this time. That's starting to rotate. That's not severe warned at this time or tornadic, but we're still watching.
Jeff Presley is on the phone to talk about what they're seeing out of 911. Okay, we'll figure that out. Let's go ahead and talk to Jeff Presley while we.
All right, right now we have Jeff Presley with E911 on the phone. Jeff, what do we have right now?
Well, we got a very dangerous situation around, mostly around the mall there, Turtle Creek Mall area. We're focusing some responses there for search and rescue. We do have several overturned vehicles, power lines down. We really want to stress folks need to stay off the road right now.
Yeah, definitely.
We're setting up a
go ahead.
command center out there, so we got some folks coming in from other agencies. Some of the smaller towns around us going to come in and help us out, but we do have reports of roof collapse in northeast Jonesboro. We do have a structure fire out close to the airport, a factory out there. We do have a full response there. Reports of a gas leak over in East Jonesboro. So it's a very dangerous situation out there, and it's changing every second. So we're trying to get some extra hands in here for the police and the fire department to help us out.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. And I'll ask you another question in a second, but just kind of what he said, even after the Nashville tornado, we'll use that as an example. There are a lot of people trying to drive out and look for damage. Now is not the time for that. We need to get out of the way and let rescuers, firefighters, ambulances, police do their jobs to save lives before anybody goes and tries to look at the damage. So if you didn't get hit by this tornado and you want to go look at the damage, do not do that right now and probably over the next couple of days, just because we're still learning about the extent of the damage. We do not want you to interfere or clog the roads where fire trucks, ambulances, police cannot get through to try to impact those people. And Jeff, anything else you'd like to pass along? I don't know if you got any new information.
You're absolutely correct on that. It is a very dangerous situation out there right now. We're trying to check on folks, so just stay safe, call and check on your loved ones, and we're out there working for you.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Stay safe, and we'll be talking with you more as you learn more information. So thank you very much for giving us an update on everything.
Pictures of the Turtle Creek Mall, and it hit pretty bad, it looks like.
Yeah, I think I just
Zach, can you hear me still?
Yes, Ryan, we can.
Okay. As you know, I'm on the Greene County Rescue Squad up here, and I'm listening to our guys out there right now. This is still on the ground. It has crossed over the county line now, and it's continuing to move to the northeast. So even though it's not looking like it did when it came through Jonesboro, this thing is still a tornado. It's still on the ground, and chances are it's going to continue passing to the northeast. I'm having a hard time accessing Max for the weather computers from here, but this looks like it's going to continue moving to the northeast, probably crossing over Highway 135 here shortly, and then coming just to the east of Paragould. Now, the tornado sirens are still going off here, and that's a good call because, as you know, you can look at radar and it can be off just a little bit. So we still need everybody from Paragould to Halliday over to Cardwell, Missouri, to be in your tornado safe spot immediately right now. I'm continuing to monitor traffic up here also, and I'm also trying to keep them updated also on where this is going.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. And guys, I think we got Max 1 back up. We are having some issues with it. We can go back to that. I can control that one a little bit better than I can control this one over here. And so we're still trying. So like meteorologist, is that in play mode, Aaron?
Yes, it
It is in play mode?
is in play mode.
Is Magic Track selected?
It is.
Maybe not. Let's see. Maybe it's already zoomed in. There we go. Sure what's going on. A second. Okay, can you just zoom in? Can you just take over and
Yeah.
zoom in back in on that tornado warning storm? And you did say they were watching a storm in Cross County. What's the latest on that? I don't want to
There-
just focus on this, even though we do have that confirmed tornado. I don't want to leave anybody else out either.
Right now, just broad rotation near Cherry Valley. They're going ahead and issue a severe thunderstorm warning. Now we're
Okay.
getting a report of a funnel cloud, a large funnel cloud over Bird Eye. That's going to be just
Over Bird Eye?
That's going to be
Okay,
just
can
near Cherry
you
Valley.
stop this from rolling? Can you go to velocity? We're going to talk about this for a few seconds, and we'll jump down to that storm real quick, and then we'll come back to this storm that's moving through Paragould. So here's that area of concern. So the east side of Paragould. So there used to be a tractor, I think a green a John Deere tractor sells a lot there. I know there's some used car lots on the east side of town, a few liquor stores, right before you hit the 60 mile per hour speed limit on your way to the state line. So kind of where the shoulders become more wide and you get out of the Paragould city limits. That's where we're watching for this. So right now, this is probably a few minutes old, but the tornado is somewhere right in here. It's probably already crossed Highway 135. It's moving towards Highway 412. So if you know or you're driving on Highway 412, stop, and especially if you're in the path of the storm, stop where you're going and kind of just focus where the storm is going. If you're on 412 and you're in your car, if you're listening on the radio, try to find a ditch that's not water filled and try to seek shelter that way as the storm moves to the east side of Paragould. So we've got confirmed damage in Jonesboro. We've probably got some damage in Brooklyn, though we haven't had any word from it just yet. And then on the east side of Paragould, that tornado is still on the ground, moving towards Cardwell, the intersection of 412, 139, where you go north towards Mounds and back up towards Piggott and Rector, and then you go east towards Cardwell, eventually towards Hornersville and Kennett area. So that's where this is heading. This is heading towards the state line, right where the St. Francis County River is on the east side of Paragould on Highway 412. And then Aaron, can we go focus on can we get an update on that storm down to the south? I'll let you handle that one.
Right there's not a severe thunderstorm warning, but you
Okay.
can see there's a little bit of rotation just north of Cherry Valley, between Cherry Valley and Harrisburg. That's
right
on
in there.
153.
Right. And you said Bird Eye was?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be in that general area. Now I'm
Correct.
having a little trouble moving with the radar right now, so
Okay.
bear with me. It's still a little wonky at the moment, but right there, a little bit of rotation just
Yeah.
to the north and east of Cherry Valley. They're near Highway 373 and Highway 163 in southern parts of Poinsett County. No, there's not a warning on this at the moment, not a severe
Yeah.
thunderstorm warning at this moment, but still something we need to watch.
Yeah, so if there is something with this, and they said they've seen a few funnel clouds at times, it'll be just north of the county line. I believe that's now fully into Poinsett County there along Highway 373 east of Highway 1. So this is probably right along the ridge. You can see the ridge right there where we don't have the velocity there painted. So this is coming off the ridge and moving back into the delta portions of Poinsett County. So east of the ridge, east of Highway 1. And so we'll keep our eye on that one. But Aaron, can we go back up to that Paragould storm?
Yes.
That continues to just have that confirmed tornado. It's been on the ground for at least 20 miles at this point, and probably still has more room to grow as long as they keep issuing it.
We
And you may
still,
wanna-
the new warning, the warning continuous still have a large tornado near Paragould,
Okay.
getting real close there to Highway 412 and the state line.
Okay, so yeah, so it's probably right in here at this point. So it's shifted away from Paragould, definitely with that new scan. Paragould, you're in the clear for now, especially with the storm moving off to the northeast as fast as it is. I think Paragould, you're okay at this point. But if you live on the east of Paragould, Highway 135 still, and probably 412 towards Cardwell being your tornado safe spot immediately, and then crossing St. Francis River. Did you get that information from the National Weather Service?
Yes.
Okay, so they know it's still on the ground. Okay.
Yeah, in the new warning, yeah, the continuation of the warning, they say is
Okay.
still on the ground.
And that warning expires at what time? I think I have it over here.
5:45, so the
So-
next 15, 20 minutes.
They're going to have to issue a new one. It's going to outrun that warning. We still got 20 minutes left on this warning, and it's probably within 10 miles of overrunning that warning. So I wouldn't be surprised to see another warning, yeah, especially
Right there
because that
coming across
rotation's moving.
412.
Yeah, so it's crossing Highway 412 right now, east of Paragould, east of Highway 135. There are some houses out there. There are a few businesses. That's where Delta Crawfish is located, between Paragould and the state line. So for reference, the Delta Crawfish area on Highway 412, that's where this confirmed tornado is still on the ground as of last check, which was just a few minutes ago. That's where this tornado is still on the
And a
ground.
new
There's that
warning
new
just
warning.
came out.
And so now the threat, we saw this tornado threat start all the way down in Jackson and Woodruff County, and then it moved to Craighead County. Now it's moving through Greene County, and then eventually it is going to continue to move into the Boot Hill. So we're starting to see the threat shift into the Boot Hill. So Mounds community, east of Marmaduke. I don't think Marmaduke, as long as it stays on its current trajectory, I think Marmaduke you're okay, Holiday you're okay. This is kind of right along the St. Francis River, which honestly is not a bad situation. I know, especially in the rural areas, a lot of farmland there. So hopefully this tornado will kind of stop moving through populated areas and kind of hang out over the river for a little bit. But Kennett, you need to be in your safe spot, or at least be close to it and ready to go. By 6 o'clock, 30 minutes from now, that tornado, that confirmed area of rotation will be close to Kennett. Zenith as well. Mounds community, you need to know, you need to be in your safe spot. If you live along the St. Francis River there and you're in the warning, you need to take cover. Cardwell, it's going to be close, but I want you in your safe spot anyway, just because of how close it is to your location. So I need you, if you're in Cardwell, Missouri, if you live by Mr. T's, whether on the Arkansas side or the Missouri side, I really need you in your safe spot. This has been a confirmed tornado for 20, 30 miles at this point. So this is a very serious tornado that is able to keep itself going. A lot of times tornadoes, weak tornadoes, can be influenced by things that make them lose their rotation and lift. This one, by the looks of it, when it was moving through Jonesboro, this is a very strong tornado, and it's going to take a lot. The storm is going to have to weaken a lot. Something is going to have to keep this storm from keeping its power for this tornado to go away. This is continue to cross Highway 412 to the northeast. Highway 139, if you live anywhere on Highway 39 between 412 and Mounds, I need you in your safe spot immediately, as that tornado is going to kind of run right along the highway for a little bit as it moves towards the St. Francis River.
We've got some more damage reports right now. This is coming from Jeff Presley. Police right now are setting up a command post at 300 East Island. That's going to be at the mall, and there's also major damage to the mall at Turtle Creek right now and other buildings. They have injuries in that area.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the mall was closed for Corona to kind of...
Most of it, but
Most of it?
I'm not sure about those anchor stores.
Okay, so like Target
and
Noble.
Dillard's and JCPenney.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So I thought maybe it would be a best case scenario that if the mall was empty, but with those stores still having people in them and them being busy stores, I hope they were able to take cover. And since we do have confirmed damage at the Turtle Creek Mall, oh man, that latest scan, that's still on the ground. That is still a tornado on the ground, and it looks even stronger than it did in the previous scan. So like I said, this tornado is just going to continue to be a threat from Mounds to Cardwell, Zenith, anywhere along Highway 412, anywhere along Highway 39 in Arkansas, 139, and along the St. Francis River. If you know anybody that lives in those areas, they need to take cover. We've had confirmed tornado reports all the way through Poinsett County near Amagon. We saw it on our own weather cameras here in studio as it moved through Jonesboro. Touchdown in Jonesboro, went towards the Brooklyn community, went east of Paragould, and is now crossing Highway 412, or already has crossed Highway 412, probably now running right along Highway 139 up towards the Mounds community and towards the Zenith community. Cardwell as well. Cardwell, I think you're okay, but I don't want you out of your safe spot just yet. Stay in there for another 10, 15 minutes at the most. I think it's going to stay on the Arkansas side of the St. Francis River for the most part, and then probably cross just to the west of Zenith. So these are some of those secondary highways in Missouri that have those letter designations. So instead of numbers, they use letters. So that's what we're seeing right here. Here's Highway 412, Zenith, and then it has that curve around Cardwell. Mr. T's is right around here. So what it's going to do is this is just going to continue to move off to the northeast, cross the river, and then move into the very rural areas of parts of Dunklin County. So in Greene County, County Road 867. Or 864, County Road 839, and then any county road and Highway 139 as well. And then as you go towards Dunklin County, State Highway V, County Road 568, State Highway P, County Road 602, Arbord, County Road 616, Cardwell, County Road 620 there. That's where you need to take cover as this tornado continues to move off to the northeast. So, and just want to reiterate, I know the storm has passed Jonesboro. If you're still watching this in Jonesboro, do not get in your car and try to go look at damage. Now is not the time for that. The damage isn't going anywhere. The people who are hurt and need help, they need help now. And so that's why we don't want you going out to look at damage. Don't want you clogging up the roads. We need police, fire, and ambulance services to be the first ones able to get to those locations and help people and help get people out of dangerous zones. Jeff Presley mentioned there's gas leaks, power lines are down, damage is in the road. So it's not a good time to go look at the storm damage.
We have pictures. We have live pictures right now of the storm damage. Can we go to those live pictures right quick to see the damage here in the
If
city
you want to
of
retweet
Jonesboro.
those, do we have those in house, or we have those
We
on
have
social
we
media?
have a live camera right now in
Okay.
Jonesboro. If we can get that pulled up.
Yeah, and I'll try to talk over it if you guys can put me up against that live view. So let's see.
Yeah.
This is Highway 412, I believe. This is Ryan's live view, I believe. That looks like his car. Yes, this is Ryan Vaughn, and so he is going on. This is from Paragould. This isn't from Jonesboro. This is from Paragould. This is that new section of highway, the new bypass, 412 bypass. It's a little bit choppy, but notice rain, roads are wet. It doesn't look like much damage in this area as he crosses. I think he's going back to the west. So he just got off on the east side of town, and he's going kind of looping back around to go back towards the south side of Paragould and to the kind of near the come and go there by the community center. So he's on the opposite end of the bypass. And so we'll check back in with him if he does find some damage. It doesn't look like those trees were disturbed. Power lines are still there. Power poles are still there. Yeah, so just keep monitoring that, and if he does come across damage, we'll cut back to that. But right now, he's just driving on the bypass there around the Paragould area. And so here is the live view. So that is significant damage. Can you ask them to zoom out so we can kind of get a wide picture of where this is and what's going on? Obviously, this is damage. Obviously, this is where the tornado moved through. Notice there's not a whole lot left. That's either a wall or a roof. And that's a lot of insulation. So it looks like maybe a wall there based on those brackets on the wood there. That looks like a wall. But oh man, that is tough to see. Do we have an approximate location of where this is at? We do not have a location. And then wow, that is. So this is Magic Touch. Is that Magic Touch on Caraway?
That's
I think it is. I think this is right by IHOP. So right by Sam's Club. Caraway Road, right by IHOP. This is Magic Touch near that location. This is the intersection.
Right across from Gateway Tire.
Yes. So right. I think it's Race Street.
That's going to be Race Street there,
then
Race and
Windover,
Caraway
where
and
Race
Windover.
becomes Windover, right? Okay, so that's where Race becomes Windover, and then that looks like, I can't really confirm, but that looks like maybe the Magic Touch.
That's Gateway Tire.
Oh wow, there's Gateway, and look at the metal wrapped around that pole there. We've got metal wrapped around power lines, power poles. Power lines are down. This is why I keep saying don't go out. Look at all this damage. You're not going to be able to drive through it anyway, even if you wanted to. And you're just going to get in the way of those going through the wreckage, trying to make sure no one's stuck in the wreckage, and trying to make sure that people are okay after this tornado move. That is significant damage in the Jonesboro community. That is Magic Touch. Yeah, that's the video monitor there at the corner. You can see the IHOP, the Sam's Club sign in the background. You can see cars stuck in the wreckage. We've got insulation everywhere. Okay, it seems we've lost Ryan's his shot. So we'll try to get that back. There may be, especially with a tornado going through, it could have cut power to cell towers, and it could maybe have hit a few cell towers. So we may have some data interruptions across Region 8, especially where this tornado went through. Oh man, that is hard to see. The power poles leaning, the buildings were hit. Luckily there seems to be a lot of people there. We've got roof damage to homes, maybe an apartment building there in the background. There's a few businesses. Look at that, the wall is gone. You can see right into the office, somebody's office there from the road. The front has been pulled off. It looks like the brick wall was able to withstand. That looks like an Allstate office there on Caraway, south of IHOP, south of Magic Touch. And so continue to monitor that feed, because let's go back to radar real quick just so we can get an update on this area of rotation. So right here near the Mounds community, I've said it a few times, but Mounds, if you're not in your tornado safe spot, get into it right now. This tornado is probably still on the ground. Rotation not as impressive, but right in there along Highway 139 as it curves along the St. Francis River back up towards the Mounds community. County Road 839, County Road 860, 139 there, County Road 811, County Road 870. That is where you need to be taking shelter as this continues to move towards the St. Francis River. So it is over a lot more farmland, but I know there are houses on 139, and I don't want to leave them out just because it's not a heavily populated area. And then eventually State Highway P, State Highway A, east or west of Zenith, and then going north of Zenith as well. Zenith, you're going to be close. Stay in your safe spot. I don't want you out just because it looks like it may go to the west. It could go to the west, but sometimes it can make a little bit of a right turn, and I just don't want that to make that right turn right into Zenith. So stay in your tornado safe spot. Kennett, you really need to be in your safe spot. If you know someone in Kennett, give them a call right now and tell them to get in their safe spot. This is a very dangerous situation still. This tornado could still be on the ground. The velocity not quite as bad, but we're getting farther away from the radar site. So we're not going to have as good data as what we've had over the past hour since we've been seeing this storm move out across in Woodruff and Jackson County, excuse me. So still watching that tornado right on top of Highway 139, now probably moving on the southern and eastern sides of the Mound community, and then probably going to cross the river here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, and then start to impact portions of Dunklin County. Got any updates on anything, Aaron?
Right now, not really. We do have, the tornado warning continues for Clay, Green, Dunklin, and Pemiscot counties. This is going, if you live in Mounds and in Kennett, you really need to be taking your tornado precaution. This has a history of putting down a large tornado across Jonesboro into Greene County. It's now moving up through Mounds, and that circulation isn't going anywhere right now. So if you live in Mounds, if you live there along the St. Francis River in Greene County, in Clay County, and in Dunklin County, Nimmons, Kennett, this looks like it will stay just to the west of Zenith, but as it heads up towards the north along the St. Francis River, Kennett, Hockham, and eventually towards Bragg City as you move into Pemiscot County, you really need to be in your tornado safe spot right now.
Yeah, and are they still saying it's confirmed on the ground, or have they given an update on that?
The last update, yes, near Cardwell. So that's going to be going to be 5 or 10 minutes ago, but.
Okay, so I'm sending you up a little update on social media just because we've lost connection with Ryan. Aaron's over there. I'm just going to send a quick tweet about just what we're seeing right now, that this tornado is still on the ground. So Aaron, I'll let you handle that for a second. Warning places, you can probably zoom in a little bit better than I can on some of those county roads and those lettered state highways there on parts of Dunklin County.
Sure, if you're on Greene County Road 870, 811 up to Greene 807, you really need to be in your safe spot. If you're in the Mounds community, along Highway 139 and especially east between Highway 139 and the St. Francis River. If you live on P Highway, they're going to see that Dunklin County Highway 534, you need to be in your safe spot now. This will be on 807 in the next few minutes in Greene County, then crossing over into Clay County, Farm Road, Clay County Road 522. Just got an update right now. If you're on County Road 870, still there, just east of Mounds, that circulation's not as tight as it was just a little bit ago, but still, if you are in eastern parts of Greene County, western parts of Dunklin County, southeastern parts of Clay County, south and east of Rector, should stay south of Rector, and should stay just south and east of Piggott. But if you live in Nimmons and in Kennett, you need to be in your safe spot right now, and this will continue to move off towards the northeast. Let me go ahead and put a track on this. It's moving about 45 miles. It's really moved about 45 miles per hour. Ipley there in Dunklin County, Fairline, that would be moving it into New Madrid County. Give a better storm track. That's include Kennett in this. If you live in Kennett, you have 10 to 20 minutes in Kennett. Ipley 602, Peach Orchard. That's going to be the Peach Orchard near the Pemiscot, New Madrid County line. 613, North Wardell. That's in Pemiscot County. 620. So if you live in any of those communities through central parts of Dunklin County into Pemiscot County, eventually New Madrid County, you need to be in your safe spot right now. This storm has a history of putting down a large tornado. We have that damage throughout Jonesboro that we see. We also have heard damage coming through Jonesboro. Now that storm is in eastern parts of Greene County, really there on the Greene, Dunklin, Clay County line where all three of those counties meet.
So yeah, it may slide a little bit further to the west of Kennett than I kind of had on my in my head, but so that would impact some other portions further north into Dunklin County and probably still in Greene County. So like you said, the Nimmons community, but as long as it stays closer to the river, that is going to reduce its impact directly to people. It's still seeing signs of rotation. So with the history of this storm, it's already confirmed, or already at least 2 confirmed tornadoes across the area. So I'm not going to say, oh, just because velocity may look a little bit weaker, we're okay. I don't trust this storm. I'm not going to trust this storm until probably it leaves Region 8 just because of what it's already done inside of Region 8. So we're going to keep watching this. And like I said, if you go back to reflectivity for a second and zoom out just a little bit, not super far, but it's still on the edge. There's no storm to the east of it. It still has access to all that warm and humid air, and if it can't stay on the ground, it's going to stay on the ground. There's really nothing interacting it. Notice back to the north, Piggott, Rector, even towards Corning and other portions of Region 8, there's heavy rain, but we don't have severe weather. We do have that severe thunderstorm warning to the north, but there's no severe weather, and we do have a severe thunderstorm warning, I guess, for portions of Clay County. Didn't see that, or maybe that was just newly issued. So we do have a threat of severe weather, but the tornado threat is still going to be along the line. It's still going to be on the edge storm, and it's just been one storm today. This is the only storm that's been tornado warned, and it's already produced 2 tornadoes, one doing significant damage across the city of Jonesboro and probably up towards Brooklyn and maybe on the fringe areas of Paragould, though based off Chief Meteorologist Ryan Vaughn's feed, it looked like at least on closer to the city limits on the east side that everything looked okay at first glance. So we'll get more information on that. And have we heard anything from Brooklyn? I mean,
I haven't seen anything coming from the city of Brooklyn.
I don't know how we haven't heard anything from Brooklyn. I just that area of rotation went right over Brooklyn, and that was a very powerful tornado that is just not going to dissipate in the 4 or 3 miles from Farville Curve to the Brooklyn community. So
and hopefully it stayed just on the edge of Brooklyn.
Oh man, I hope
Let's
so.
hope that it stayed on the edge of town.
I really hope so.
I haven't seen any reports from the city of Brooklyn, and really haven't seen any reports since it moved through Jonesboro.
And so we'll keep monitoring that. It's going to be slow to develop. We're not going to know the full scope of damage probably for a few more hours. And at this point, there may not be regular programming for the rest of the night. I think we're setting up now behind the scenes for us to start doing live coverage from the damage. This is something we're going to be tracking for weeks, for months, and especially over the next couple of hours. I don't think we're going to go back to programming unless we absolutely have to, or if we're not ready yet and all the tornado warnings do get dropped. So we're still going to be with this. We're going to talk about the damage. We're going to hear from people on the ground, but we've got to give our time for our reporters to get in a position. We did have a few people already inside the damage, and luckily, I say luckily, it's just kind of a consequence of the coronavirus. We've spread out our equipment to keep with the reporters, so to limit their interactions with the station. So a lot of our equipment was already in the field. So stuff that we can give you stories, or stuff that we can show you live footage of damage across Jonesboro, just as a result of social distancing and keeping people from coming to the station. We've had stuff just scattered across Jonesboro, and so that's actually helping us get into position a little bit quicker to kind of give an idea of what's going on in the Jonesboro area. We now have Chief Meteorologist Ryan Vaughn on the phone. Ryan, where are you and what are you seeing?
Hey, Zach, I am heading Highway 49 south. As you know, when I last left you, I was kind of losing connection to the station, and we took cover ourselves there in Paragould, even though the tornado passed to the east. I'm heading down into Jonesboro now. Not sure if you guys still have my live feed at the moment, but
it's been going in and out. I don't think we have it currently.
Okay, well, you can if it pops up, what you'll notice is even though the tornado went to the east of Highway 49, there is a ton of debris that has fallen from the tornado, even this far away from it. So we've got emergency vehicles that are coming in from other areas, helping Jonesboro.
I can hear them. Just a few just went past the station, Ryan. As you said that, I heard a lot of sirens.
Yeah, just those folks. I advised them just a little bit ago to be careful because there is a lot of debris out. I really want to stress to people not to get out and sightsee. I'm already seeing a lot of people on Highway 49 right now coming through, heading south, and we just don't need people down and about it because we've got a lot of people, a lot of rescue squads. And also Sheriff's Department. Sorry, I've got one coming behind me right now that are coming in to help. So it's just creating kind of a backup for these emergency responders that are heading to the south.
Ryan, we're getting reports in here on the chat from Jeff Presley saying that the most of the damage right now in Jonesboro is on the east and northeast sides of town, and also 3 injuries from Turtle Creek, from the mall at Turtle Creek that have been sent to the hospital from this storm that just came through Jonesboro. So
at least 3 confirmed injuries, and then so that put the track. If I'm trying to think about Jonesboro for a second, if that went through the Magic Touch, the Gateway area, that tracked right.
Hey, Zach, do you have my feed?
I do not think we do, Ryan. But that's
All right,
there we
y'all
go.
got
There we
it
go.
up on
We just got
okay.
you.
If you'll notice, what you're seeing here is, and I'm stopped on the side here. You're seeing other fire departments. I believe that is from Paragould right there. Is that? Okay, that's still Jonesboro. But I did hear some radio traffic just a little bit ago of Greene County's kind of checking out their area. Of course, they just know how the tornado kind of come through before sending units down south. But there's a lot of emergency response coming from several different locations right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of cars on the road, and I really hope they'd already planned to go to Jonesboro today, and they're not just trying to go see damage, because that is going to clog the roads, and that is going to limit how fast people can respond to those in need. And I've said it.
Zach, where do you want me to go right now? I have not since I got cut off. I mean,
Yeah.
You talk about getting connection cut off. It looks like they may be shutting down the road right here at 49.
Okay, yeah, that's probably a good idea, because I'm hoping these people aren't trying to go see storm damage, because now is not the time. And you may be running into damage there in the Farville curve. So I try to go look at there at the furniture store there on the corner, Gamble's. That was very close to the rotation. And Ryan,
You still have my feet up?
yeah, how was Brooklyn?
Okay,
I mean, that
look at
tornado
this.
went
You
very
look
close
over
to
the
Brooklyn.
railroad track,
Yeah, okay, there we go.
there's huge pieces of metal that are over there on the railroad tracks also. Chances are they're going to be shutting down this road. I'll tell you what, I'll check back in with you here in just a little bit.
They're trying to cut off the city. Do not
Okay,
come to
just got word that they are cutting off access to the city. No one allowed into Jonesboro at the moment, just because I think they're seeing an influx in traffic, and they're trying to get to all the areas hit. This tornado touched down in Jonesboro and then moved across a good portion of Jonesboro. This is a wide damage path, a long damage path, and you can only help so many people at one time. So they're going to have to go through this entire path and try to help people and find people. So if you're driving to Jonesboro to sightsee, you're part of the problem. You're blocking their roads. You're making the wait time for someone who's hurt in the damage to get help. So please do not go to Jonesboro. Call people and tell them to turn around and stay out of Jonesboro. Now is not the time to see any damage. And we still have this active tornado warning. And Aaron, I'm going to pass this to you so you can kind of go through this. You've been monitoring the feed. Velocity may be getting a little weaker since we're farther away from the radar site. I'm not sure if that means the tornado's not on the ground anymore. Have you heard an update?
Well, the last update that came in from the National Weather Service just came in that they still had an observed tornado that was near Zenith, and it's moving towards the northeast at 50 miles per hour.
So can it still be in your tornado safe spot? This is still a confirmed tornado. We're still going to treat it as a confirmed tornado because it has been a confirmed tornado for the past hour. And so this is a very dangerous storm. And so the Kennett community, north of Kennett towards the Nimmons area, and hopefully it may slide just north of the Kennett area. And so I'm assuming that they're seeing it from Zenith. They're seeing it back along the St. Francis River. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you can switch. We may be not far enough north yet. Can you switch radar sites? Can you take the camera further north to see if we can get a better view of that? I think we may still. Yeah, we're kind of right. We should still stay on the Memphis radar site.
But if this tornado is there, it's going to be between Rector and Kennett on Highway 90. I believe that's 90 coming out of Arkansas and Missouri Highway 84 there. So right along where Highway 139 and Highway 90 meets there in Clay County. Just south and east of Nimmons, if you are in the Nimmons community, Clay County Road, 534, Clay County Road, 528.
Yeah.
You need to be in your safe spot right now.
Yeah, it's still hugging the Arkansas line. I thought it would
And
have
we're
crossed over
also-
already, but it's still in the Arkansas side of the St. Francis River. But that's probably going to change as it's kind of running out of room and the river kind of curves back.
And they're fixing to issue a new tornado warning for a storm in Greene County.
Really?
Yeah, near Evening Star is what it says. So
I see that there.
between
So-
O'Kane and Beech Grove, south of Peach Orchard, got another area of rotation north of Light there on Highway 34 in Greene County. They're fixing to issue a new tornado warning for Greene and probably Clay. So yeah, new tornado warning issued for Clay County and Greene County. This is until 6:30. This is for a storm over Evening Star. It's going to be between Beech Grove and O'Kane, south of Peach Orchard, moving towards the northeast at 35 miles per hour. So if you live in Peach Orchard,
that's going to move towards the Knob.
Noble, Corning, McDougal, you are in this warning even all the way to Piggott. So if you live, especially between Pocahontas and Beech Grove, between Beech Grove and the Randolph County line, you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now between Delaplane and Beech Grove, south of Peach Orchard. If you're in Peach Orchard, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. Over the Blackjack community, that's going to be Greene to 40, green 226, green 122, green 147, green 113. You need to be in your safe spot now. Delaplane, Beech Grove, Leif, Noble, Peach Orchard, Knob, Corning, McDougal, even up to Piggott. You need to be in your tornado safe spot right now.
Yeah, and still just got a few minutes ago, got another picture from Cardwell of the tornado still on the ground. So yeah, we've kind of got two areas to watch. So Peach Orchard, Beech Grove, north of Light. So not really a lot of ag fields where the tornado currently is, but Beech Grove definitely get into your safe spot right now. The rest of northwestern Greene County needs to be in their safe spot, and then a good portion of Clay County also needs to be in their safe spot, all the way from Beech Grove, Stonewall, all the way up to Pollard. So even Rector, if I was in Rector, the way things have gone today, I would be watching that storm closely and probably just get in my safe space just to be safe, just because the way these rotations have been happening, they've been warm, but they may not produce until a little bit later. So it may not be until it crosses into Clay County that we actually see that tornado touch down. So if you are in this alert, you should have got one on your cell phone, take cover immediately and treat this very seriously. That rotation now probably a little bit ahead of it. So to the northeast of Blackjack, north of Beech Grove, and along Highway 34. So that goes to Delaplane and it kind of loops back towards Randolph County. So Delaplane southward into portions. So between Delaplane and Beech Grove, take cover, be in your safe spot. County road, a few county roads there, County Road 115, County Road 117, and then County Road 111. And Aaron, what'd they say on that?
We have a reporter that will be calling in just a second.
So we're going to talk to them, but we've still got 2 active tornado warnings. So we're going to cover these tornado warnings, and then we'll try to fit in some Jonesboro stuff when we can. But we've still got 2 active tornado warnings, and one was still a confirmed tornado on the ground. Can we go back to that storm since I just got that tweet? And so
it's going to be right there, Nimmons. And it may be just because where the radar is. We're really far away from the radar site in Memphis. But if you live in Nimmons, Holcomb, this looks like it's now going to stay north of Kennett. But if you live on Highway 25 between Kennett and Holcomb, you really need to be in your safe spot, eventually moving up towards Clarkton and I believe up here, Malden's farther up north into Dunklin County. But right there still looks like it's on. It still looks like it's in Arkansas on the Clay County side. But really, if you live along the St. Francis River from Highway 90, Highway 84 there, where it meets at the bridge, north to Holcomb, you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now.
Yeah, and especially we're still getting pictures of that thing still on the ground, and those pictures were from Zenith. So yeah, it's moving very close to Kennett right now, the Nimmons area. If you can zoom out a little bit for me. So that area of rotation is probably still near the Kennett area, probably just to the northwest of the Kennett area between Nimmons and Kennett, moving towards Highway 25. And Holcomb, it's probably going to get very close to Holcomb as well. I know we've got a popular restaurant there that a lot of people go there to eat, but if you know anybody in Holcomb, give them a call, let them know they're in the path of this storm as it continues to move towards Highway 25. And the picture said it was a funnel, but the way I looked at it, it looked like it extended all the way to the ground. It was looking from Missouri, from Zenith, across the river into Arkansas. So I still think this thing's still on the ground. It's been on the ground for at least 30, 40 miles at this point, and probably will stay on the ground just because there's nothing to really weaken it. And so not a great situation for those in the path of this storm. And then we've still got that new tornado warning for the edges of Rector and Piggott, Knob, mainly Peach Orchard, down towards Beech Grove. So really between Peach Orchard and Beech Grove, that's where that tornado is going to be. If there is a tornado on the ground, this one is not confirmed. So this one's a little bit different. It's radar indicated, which means radar, those greens and those reds, those greens and those reds there, that's indicating a possible tornado now versus the other storm that went through Jonesboro, east of Paragould, now impacting portions of Clay and Dunklin County. That is a confirmed tornado just because we continue to have pictures of it sent and just of the history of it. We know what type of storm that is. We know what type of tornado that is, that it's going to stay on the ground for as long as it wants until something makes it kind of lose that rotation. And so Peach Orchard down towards Beech Grove, Noble, take this one seriously, just as serious as the confirmed tornado, because we may not have a lot of people's eyes are towards Jonesboro right now or towards that confirmed tornado. this is kind of the sneakier tornado warning where a lot more people may not be paying attention to it. So from Noble, Peach Orchard, Beech Grove, up towards Knob, even Leif. Leif, I would be in my safe spot as well. And if you live kind of towards the Dower restaurant there near the Hooker community, that's where I would probably be in my safe spots as well. And south of Leif, I think you're okay. So the more you go towards Oak Grove, and the Paragould School there, I even have family that lives north of Oak Grove. I think they're okay. But if you live from Leif back up towards Highway 135 into Clay County, so where you go, a lot of people use 135 to go to St. Louis Cardinal games. It's the 2-lane highway that comes out of Paragould, goes through the Leif community, and then back up to Corning before you cross the Black River. And so that's where the focus of this is. And it's probably going to cross Highway 135 east of Noble. And so that's why we're still watching this one. It's still impacting communities, and it's still going to be moving through portions of Region 8. So north of Beech Grove, Peach Orchard, the Noble area, even up towards Corning, I think you're okay for now, but I would keep my eyes on that storm as it moves off to the northeast.
I think we're still getting reports of a tornado, a possible rain-wrapped tornado west of Kennett.
West of Kennett?
West of Kennett. So
yeah,
northwest of Kennett.
Radar
so that
data
will be
is
right back around Nimmons, crossing into Dunklin County right now. If you live in Holcomb, you really need to be in your
Holcomb.
tornado.
I need you in your tornado spot immediately. If you live in Holcomb, anywhere on 120 or Highway 25, Missouri Highway 25, from Holcomb down to Kennett, I need you in your safe spot. So it's past the Kennett area and still probably in Arkansas. It's still probably hugging the Clay County side of the line, or side of the St. Francis River. If you live in the Frisbee community, if you live in the Holcomb community, State Highway BB, even parts of Arkansas Highway 1 along the St. Francis River, you need to be in your safe spot. County Road 402 in Dunklin County, County Road 410, County Road or State Highway 44, and County Road 411. You need to be in your tornado safe spot. And if y'all can pop me up back on Max 1 real quick, it's probably the area where the tornado is probably right in here near the Frisbee community, if I had to guess. Radar data is not great, but you have that peak little area where winds are a little bit stronger, and you have some darker colors back in here. So that may be the winds kind of coming back on the back edge, and then these are the winds kind of going, the other side of the wind. So that's probably where it is, but unfortunately radar data. Can you switch to storm relative velocity and see if that clears it up a little bit? Yeah, yes. So that does help a little bit. Sometimes when storms move this fast, they confuse the radar because the radar is tracking motion and what it's hitting, but the motion of the storms can kind of hide some of the signs. So switching to a different product right there along the St. Francis River. And so Frisbee community, you need to be in your safe spot right now. I don't know how destructive this tornado is. I don't know how big it is, but we saw it move through Jonesboro live on our weather cameras, and that's not a weak tornado. And so we need you in your safe spot. We need you to take cover if you're in the Frisbee community south of Holcomb on Highway 25. If you're in Holcomb, you also still need to be in your safe spot. And that latest scan kind of gets a little bit muddy again, but I don't trust that latest scan. I'm going to stick with, I think this tornado may still be on the ground because it doesn't really have a reason to have lifted. So hopefully maybe that radar data is good and it has lifted, but treat it like that tornado is still on the ground. Holcomb needs you in your safe spot. And can you switch to close to CC just in case? I think we're too far away to see anything. We're too far away to see anything. So what happens is if a tornado does throw debris in the atmosphere, the farther away from the radar site you are, the less likely you're going to see it. It'd have to be a very strong tornado to waft that debris where the radar beam hits the storm. So I think what we're seeing right now with the velocity is the radar is hitting the storm in the middle part of the storm, or maybe even some of the upper portions of the storm. So we're seeing the storm itself rotate, but we can't see near the surface where the tornado, the really tight rotation is. And so that's why it's kind of a little bit harder to see it than it was when it moved through Jonesboro and Craighead County and Greene County. We're moving further away from the radar side. That's why the data is getting a little bit worse. And zoom out and include both of those tornado warnings. And there goes that second.
They've gone ahead. The National Weather Service in Paducah has gone ahead and issued that tornado warning for New Madrid County as that storm moving out of Dunklin.
So I imagine Memphis will issue one to kind of connect the pieces. It looks a little weird right now. There we go. There it is. So it's going to move out of Dunklin County over the next 15 minutes or so and impact portions of northern Pemiscot County. And I think once it does cross into Pemiscot County, you may have to check for me, I think that kind of leaves our area. So we'll watch it. We'll keep tracking this for the next few minutes. But let's go back to that other storm. Or I think we do have Ryan back on the phone. Ryan, can you hear me? We may have lost him again. Okay, I talked too much. We lost Ryan, but he's part of the Greene County Rescue Squad, so he is trying to get some information and trying to talk to people and see what's